trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USB tiêu, từ Helen Hand, từ trên Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Just to make sure that everyone is on the same page with sponsored brands and sponsored display, I just wanted to hop into Amazon and show you guys where all those different placements are and then how you can create those campaigns within Seller Central. So let's take a look. All right, so I'm here at the homepage of Amazon as it is the week before Prime Days 2022. And I'm just gonna go ahead and choose a term that I've already selected previously, which is the Steady Rack Bike Rack. Now, right away, you can see that, again, this is a branded keyword search, but they've really done a good job of making sure that at least their sponsored product positions are really visible and there's no other competitor that's taking those sponsored product positions. So I just wanted to note that as this is important when you're talking about conquesting, especially for your own terms. Now we're going to talk about sponsored brands. So that's right here at the top. I want to make sure that you guys are aware that this custom image is not something that you can add to every single campaign or every single sponsored brand campaign. This is something that is custom. A lot of accounts have the option to add this now. Yours might not, but definitely check to see if you're allowed to do custom images. And if you are able to add some lifestyle imagery now into your campaign. Now, before this image was here, it basically was just this logo and tagline in this spot, and the three different products were slightly, pushed further to the right. So this new headline ad is what it used to be called. This new sponsored brand ad at the very top position is obviously very powerful. So again, if you're not brand registered, you want to make sure you take advantage of this because this is a prime spot to be located, obviously, especially for your own terms. But for any keywords that you're targeting, being able to show your products in this format with a custom image is very, very powerful. Now, on the search results page, there's a couple other positions that I want to make sure you're aware of for sponsored brands. That is the video. Now, even though this is just one product being displayed, this is still considered a sponsored brand ad unit. This particular video is really actually highly converting because it does have text. It does have sound. If I wanted to play that, it just had some music. But it demonstrates the use of the bicycle, but it also demonstrates then how easy it is to use their particular rack, which is just mounted right to the wall. So this is the type of video that's really going to get you traction when you're showing people using the product and also showing how easy it is to take advantage of certain features. So the other placements here on the research results page are at the bottom of the page. And again, we're just talking about sponsored brands here. So even though we're seeing some other sponsored product positions, I just want to take you guys to the very bottom because these positions right here, these are also sponsored brands. So anywhere you see sponsored, basically that is an ad type. But for sponsored brands, which we're talking about right now, it's just these three. So for sponsored brands, you do have the capabilities to show up in several different placements on the search results page. The very, very top ad unit, which is 3 campaigns or 3 products minimum that you need to launch with, the sponsored video ad, and then the ads that are right here at the bottom, these 3. Sometimes there's 2 positions here, only 2 campaigns here, but effectively the search term that I just put in, which was Steady Rack Bike Racks, I believe, effectively, since we're seeing these other 2 sponsored ads here, that means that these other companies, besides the owner, Steady Rack themselves, these other 2 companies, Monkey Bars and Yakima, are also bidding on their particular keyword. But in this instance, it's very fortunate that really those competitors are only visible at the very, very bottom of the page. If you have an effective sponsored brand strategy, you're going to be seen at the top positions and not have to worry about these competitor placements down here. So there are some other sponsor positions here that I'll get into when we start talking about sponsored display. Now, I also just wanted to pop into the campaign builder. So campaign name is the first thing that you start with. I know that Mina went into some detail on these, so I just kind of wanted to highlight that Again, for your sponsored brand ads, you have the option to do 3 different types of campaigns. That is your product collection, which is very similar to what I just showed you in the example, which is basically 3 products in one. Now, you have to launch with 3 products, but if you do happen to run out of stock on 1 product or 2 products, your ad will still show. It'll just show with the 1 product or 2 products, depending on what is still there. So your store spotlight is really helpful if you have built out a store page, which you definitely should do. And you can drive then traffic directly to your home page or even subpages. So you could have a different product in each tile, and if the shopper clicks on one of them, you can send it to 3 separate areas within your store page, which can be very useful if you have a large catalog of products. And then of course the video ad. And I just wanted to show you some of those key things that are required of particular videos. So you just want to make sure that you're taking into account all of the requirements that are right here. We see a lot of times where sellers don't pay attention to some of these video specs, and as well as maybe some other requirements of videos, and they end up getting rejected. So there's lots of content and information out there on best practices for creating sponsored brand videos. We do have some of that content available to you at Helium 10 if you want to check that out. But definitely make sure that you're taking advantage of this particular campaign type in particular. It performs very, very well. For any of these campaigns, you have the ability to do either keyword targeting or product targeting. So when you click on product targeting, what you're telling Amazon is, I don't want to build a campaign that's based on keywords, hopefully that you've researched, but you're building it based on particular ASINs and products. Now, another thing that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of is that categories will always be offered to you as an option when you select the product targeting campaign type. What you're going to want to do is, number 1, make sure that they are actually relevant to your product. Now, the 2 examples that were given by Amazon right now, bike racks and stands, and cycling equipment. So cycling equipment, not really as relevant as bike racks and stands, so I'm not going to add this one. But I'm also not just going to add bike racks and stands. I'm going to actually hit the refine button. So whenever you are dealing with categories within Amazon, you want to make sure you're choosing refine so that you can gain a competitive advantage potentially over other brands.
Chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi. Như đăng ký brand với USBTO, từ Helium 10, từ Skyrock, logistics và warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.